Hey, Cedo Pop. It's a little late for the BA run. If you want to go over there, you can. We'll wait for people if they want to go. All right, so party leaders, let me know the status. You can let me know if people are heading over there or not. It's already spawned, so if you haven't gone, maybe don't need to. There'll be other Cedos. So let me know in Yell chat the status of the parties. Okay, 2 and 3 are all here. 6 has 1 on the way.
Ah, I made it. No, let me up. Let me up with the cool kids.
Okay, there's 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. I haven't seen 5, so let me know. Group 5. There's 5. In support, okay. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna have a couple of Indom tanks taking hits intentionally. Try to stay towards the northeast of the boss if possible. Need
Possibly
to be
hit
watching
me
for
up here.
dispels. They'll be coming up shortly. Getting away from Ozma.
Oop.
That's an ion shower.
Oh no, unfortunate.
They keep burning the boss. Our Indom tanks have stacks. There's another dispel.
Ah, I wasn't even on the right match yet.
That ion shower is to the south of the boss, so you can get away from that. Okay, it's not going to go off. Everybody else, party leaders, please be sure that everybody has the blue ethereally primed buff. And as long as everybody does, go ahead and send out your portal macro. If somebody doesn't, we can go ahead and deal with that shortly.
Number 3.
With those portal macros sent out and your portal assigned, we're going to go ahead and head towards any one of those fairies that benefits you.
Ah,
We're going to be waiting next to them
Providence.
for about 4 minutes, 4 to 5 minutes. Longer if you'd like to greet it. So we are going to be waiting, and we'll grab them when it hits about 4 to 5 minutes left on our etherically primed buff.
Ugh. Let's see. Only 2 more relics to go, and then I'm done forever.
Alright, blue portals are out. These will easier be able to tell us where the portals are that we were assigned. The portal map was posted a little earlier, and it's also in Baldessian Arsenal chat if you need to figure out where your portal is. If you are having trouble figuring out where you're supposed to go, please ask in your party chat, and your party leader can go ahead and set a flag for you so that you can figure out where you're supposed to be going.
I really have to farm those Pyros crystals.
Don't mind the bait in shout chat. So if you have a long way to go, it's a pretty good time to take your fairy buff now. If you'd like to greet it more, you're totally welcome to.
It's gonna be by Providence Walker. There we go.
Once you get your fairy buff, go ahead and head towards your blue portals. Even if you happen to have an etheric stabilizer in your pocket, we ask that you don't use it. You can just hold on to it. Just sit next to your blue portal and wait for it to turn red, then you won't need to use it. It messes things up for other people when people use stabilizers, so we try to avoid using them with main raid. Support is totally fine to use them though. Alright, if you're waiting next to your blue portal, it'll turn red very shortly. It may shift in position ever so slightly. You may need to turn your camera to find out where it kind of teleports. Red portals are out. Go ahead and take your red portals when you can. Once you do, welcome to BA. As you make your way inside after your cutscenes are done, we can wait on the bridge to receive a Protect and Shell buff. So please try to avoid dropping down while we figure out where all the groups are going.
Ah, the most fun job of the raid. No, Shugo! He hit the internet floor. The worst thing a dragoon can do.
Okay, let's figure out what's going on with the roster.
Rip Shugo.
Looks like we have groups for no more group splits today.
There are a lot of warriors.
So we'll have groups 1, 2, and 3 headed to Art side, which is the Logos Manipulator side. And groups 4, 5, and 6 will be headed Owain side, which is the Magia Melder side. So party leaders, go ahead and set a waymark on the side that your group is going to go to. We're going to try to avoid engaging the walls until our tanks have refreshed their Indom stacks. So use this time to make sure your plates are all prepared. Make sure you have everything that you're going to use. I'll send a Magia setup command in Baldesion Arsenal chat as well. For those who are new and want to have a little bit of extra defense, there's a setup for you. There's also an important command called Magia Auto that you should use if your party has a refresh healer. So please be sure you can ask in your party. You can check your healer's actions by looking at the little blue triangle buff on the left side next to the fairy buff. You can see if they have refresh slotted. Okay. So we'll wait for the all clear before we engage the walls. I don't think there's any more Indoms on Owain's side, so Owain's side will probably be ready to kill soon. Okay, Owain's side is good to kill, and our side is good to kill, so both sides can drop down once they're ready. Just triple check that you have everything that you'd want to use in the run. Make sure you pop food. It's a good time to check that while we're still up here.
I've redone my Magia.
As we make it past the walls, please be sure to let your tanks be the ones to pick up aggro of the mobs. And if you're a blue DPS without Indom stacks, it's probably a good idea to turn your stance off. We'll let the people who have Indom stacks be the ones to tank the mobs. Watch your feet for all the AoEs. A lot of the things in here will be lethal, so please play your life. When you make your way up to the Biblos, stand to the side of them, never to the front or back. There's no positionals in BA.
Death.
Alright, Owain's side is making their way up now. Let me know the status on Art side. You're correct. There is no positionals in Eureka, or any foray, really. Artside is ready, okay. Is there anybody on Artside who could handle calls? Just a couple of calls that'll happen?
I can call for the spears.
Sure, that's probably all you'll need to do. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and set a 15-second countdown. We're gonna do so in 3, 2, 1, 15 seconds.
So just so everyone on Art's side knows, Art will do a point blank or a donut around himself. After he does that, he will tether himself to some spears and mimic that same attack.
Yep, perfect. The bosses will start off with a tank buster, and then the calls will deviate afterwards.
Get in right after this point blank.
Raid right away inside.
AoE.
Watching which color the spears are, we're gonna go to blue ice spears. Blue ice spears. Entrance is not safe.
Notice where the spears are. They are going to be point blank, so get to the entrance or the exit. And we are at point 1.
Only 10%, almost done.
On Art side, you can go ahead and be in defense, Magia.
Thank you very much for covering calls. We have at least one Perceptor on Owain's side. If there is none on Art's side, I will make my way over shortly. We're going to reveal bomb traps at the top of the stairs, and we're going to avoid them. We're going to use them for later. Our Indom tanks will use them. Okay, coming to clear Art's side. Hey, nice. We have a Perceptor there too. So dealing with the Calca, that'll be our main focus. The sprite wandered away, I believe. Okay, tanks will be grouping up mobs, we'll be grouping up those Maguses. Watch your feet for AoEs as they happen.
Magi.
The sprite's wandering down, one of the centaurs has been pulled. We'll need a healer or caster to sleep berserk. There it goes. Okay, that's a normal mob now. Tanks have the sprite and the other centaur. Please make sure the other centaur gets slept. Okay, that's good. Now we need to be watching the sprite for Banish 3. Make sure that doesn't go off. Everybody else, watch your feet for AoEs. Lots of big orange AoEs happening right now. Refresh healers, keep refresh rolling while we're fighting mobs of all sorts of different elements. As these mobs die, go ahead and make sure you grab your treasure coffer at the back wall. Loot and BA is personals. No one else can grab it for you. The Indom tanks are going to go refresh on Owain's side, it looks like. Everybody else can go up.
Hold over there because this trap's been blown up, so.
Oh, okay. Still have a trap on Art's side. We'll wait for all the tanks to get there.
If you're on dark, you might want to take your gear off.
Okay. For everybody else who's waiting up in the Raiden Arena, we'll set up some important waymarks. We'll have A to the north right behind Raiden and C to the south. That'll be used to call the safe side for the sword cleave. We'll also have B to the east side and D to the west side. So everybody can go ahead and stack up on the B way marker towards the east side near the purple line. We're going to be getting healed up for the first Raiden wide. Everything else will get handled in calls. We're going to set a 15-second countdown. We're going to do so in 3, 2, 1, 15 seconds. Tanks will be pulling it to B. Any LBs can go out at 5 for LB2s, 3 for LB1s respectively. Okay, we'll stack up as the boss makes its way over to the B way marker. We'll wait to get healed up for the first Raiden wide. Addles, Faints, Reprisals, Dismantles on this cast. After that, the Rain can pre-position at the center of the arena near the star. Melee have some uptime here, as the next few mechanics don't mean anything to us. The next mechanic does mean something to us. It is Aminosaka Hoko. When we see that cast, make it back towards the range. Get away from the boss to avoid a big point blank. He's going to backflip onto us. When he does, we're going to stay right underneath the hitbox. So one hit KO, there's no way to avoid this. Right underneath the hitbox. After that, everyone can head towards the D-way marker or towards the center. Wherever you head, just stack on top of people. Stack up tight. We're baiting puddles underneath our feet. Watching where the sword goes, we're going to the north. A north. Stay on the left side here. Wait for the cleave to go off. Cleaving half the room. Stack up tight in the center for another Raiden wide. Addles, Faints, Reprisals, Dismantles on this cast. Next up, we're going to see Lancing Bolts. Random people are going to get AoEs above their head. You're going to want to take them out to the edges. Don't overlap with people. There they go. Take them out to the edges, don't overlap. Once they drop and once Raiden reappears, don't touch the Streak Lightnings, just kill the boss. The boss is dead. Cool. There's a coffer waiting for us at the B-way marker as we exit the room. Please be sure to grab it. Okay, tanks will be grouping up these little mobs and probably one of the bibliotaphs while we wait for the Kalka to appear in the room. As the Kalka appears, we're going to face it away from the raid. Don't be in front of it. The bibliotaph may get face aggroed by someone, so tanks be ready. Looks like it's okay. Okay. It got pulled. We'll deal with that one. We'll leave the other one alone. Alright, good. Last bibliotaph. Okay, there's a coffer up here that will have a bomb trap in front of it. Feel free to grab your coffer and avoid the bomb trap. I wouldn't, unless you're completely alone. Let's avoid trying to kill the raid with bomb trap shenanigans. Also, many people have tried that, and yeah, you can have fun with that. It's not in the earth room. And not in the fire room. So we're going to be dealing with that sprite and making sure that banish does not go off. Please make sure it doesn't leash as well. The portal will be in the ice room, so we don't need to pull the water room mobs. Have the Vikings coming out. Tanks can go ahead and pick these up. We'll deal with these mobs. We don't need to head into water unless the coffer is back there, which I don't think it is. I haven't seen the coffer though. Chest is in earth? Okay, no. Yeah, we don't need to pull the water room at all. We'll just deal with these mobs and then we'll head into the ice room. We'll grab our earth room coffer later. Alright, let's go ahead and head through the portal. As you go through this portal, turn your camera to the right. There is a treasure coffer waiting here for you. This is the most annoying one to go back and get, so please be sure to grab it. Oh hey, a bleed trap. So the bleed trap's already been found, so we don't need to worry about it. Everything's been pulled. We're going to try and make sure that that cow cook gets faced away from the raid. It's facing the raid at the moment. Okay, thank you. Nice, it's facing away. Don't be in front of it. Anybody who's there, it's about to go off. Okay, we got slept. Toy hammer is going off on at least one frog. Okay, it died. There's some red whites. Alright, we're good to go. Last two ghosts in the hallway. I'm a little behind on finding the bomb traps in here, so go ahead and deal with those ghosts. The rooms are not safe at the moment, so don't enter them until you see a bomb trap. Alright, so just give me 1 second as the last two rooms in the hallway are not clear. So don't enter those, unless you're an Indom tank and you really need to. But we can go ahead and split into your groups while I grab the last two bomb traps. So from the top left to right will be groups 1, 2, and 3. From the bottom left to right will be groups 4, 5, and 6. Prioritize your Indom tanks to be the ones to blow up the bomb trap. And please let us know if you don't have a tank. And we'll send an extra tank your way to help you with the room. But whatever tank is going to handle the room, just make sure you turn your stance off, or your stance on, and get ready to tank 2 mobs. You can spin yourself into defensive for the room, for the element of your room, and just stand in the portal. Okay, sounds like it's spawning. Make sure your tank has aggro the mobs before you engage. Sounds like everybody's making it out okay.
Yay, we won. It's taking them so
Checking the
long.
last room just in case if something went wrong.
Usually we're all done by now.
Oh, yep. We're gonna need a sack and lightning room. Healers can head back. Everybody else, this is a good chance to get any coffers that you may have missed. So the Arda Wayne coffer is down the stairs to the right. If you missed it, it's still there waiting for you. Riding coffer we're passing over right now. We should have 11 Eureka fragments if it is your first time. And we're gonna get our 12th from the last room. Yeah, we'll per Earth room later. Support was just successful. So we'll clear out the hallway and then we'll make a U-turn for the Earth room. Okay, we'll probably deal with sleeping the centaur first, and then we can grab the bibliotaph. We won't need to pull birds out at the moment. Any of the tanks can go ahead and pull the centaur. There we go. Okay, they have the... So make sure we sleep berserk. Okay, now we'll focus our attention on the bibliotaph. It's the actual dangerous mob. Nice, it died. Okay, after this dies, let's head back to the Earth room. The tanks will be pulling these Earth mobs away from our coffer. We'll go ahead and grab this coffer, and then we'll help them kill the mobs. It's already being done, so let's go ahead and head inside, grab our coffer. Watch your feet for the AoEs.
Wait, are we killing
help our
these?
tank clear these out.
Oh, we are. Yeah.
Watch your feet. They're going to be baited AoEs on everybody. Alright.
So many Bahamut's.
It is now break time while we wait for support to make their way in. We will be getting a shell refresh here on the bridge. You may not receive protect, and that's okay. Only the main tanks will need protect from here on out. The rest of us will just need shell. If you happen to receive shell, go ahead and make your way past the pillar. So your shell passer knows that you're all ready to go.
I wish there were Shell 2 that just hit everybody. Hopefully in the new exploration foray in space, we get some better all-party buffs. Need to buff. And support's coming in too. They'll need it.
There may be Skatines being pulled back towards the group. The main tanks are using these to refresh their Indom stacks, so you can use these to build up job gauge if you would like before AV. We're not trying to kill the birds though, so please avoid burning a lot of resources on them.
Oh, that one's going to refresh. Nope, 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 nope.
Do we have Feint in the raid by chance? I haven't asked. It doesn't appear so, if no one's letting me know. So we have someone, if someone has the Feint L action, which tanks and healers can use. We have someone who's gonna open it, so it's okay. Okay, support's gonna be making their way in shortly. So while support makes their way in, we'll go over a quick explanation for AV. I've posted an example of the one personal responsibility mechanic for AV, which is Turbulent Ether. When this is cast, random people will receive tethers of either light or dark colored tethers with an orb attached to it. People will need to take these orbs out to a portal of the opposite color in order to have them hit them in the portal and not do any negative effects to them. But before that happens, there is a Kono that will need to be baited, and we don't want to bait this Kono onto our safe spots. So before we take the orbs out, we're going to be staying together as a group behind the boss to bait the Kono out. Once the Kono comes out, then the people with orbs can go ahead and take them out to their safe portals. If you happen to get to this point and you can't find one of the portals, if they're all filled, as only one person can stand in one portal. If you can't find one, just take your orb out to the edge by yourself. You can get hit by yourself and you'll get hit with a little bit of damage and a damage down, but your healer can just heal you back up. It's better than bringing the orb inside with the group and having everybody get a damage down, as this is an enraged fight. So with that in mind, please be sure that you pop food. This is a good time to check your food. We're going to be getting ready to pull soon. Support's all in. Cool. Alright, so what we're going to do is, if there's anybody with bravery, we're going to stand on the left to receive bravery. And once you receive it, go ahead and head to the right side of the purple line to let your bravery passer know that you got it. We're going to do a 59 pull time. So that is 1 minute and 17 seconds now. This gives anybody who's doing focus and double edge time to get ready. So we're coming up on 50 seconds. Once again, please be sure you check your food. If you were a tank that was tanking the support room, please be sure to turn your stance off now if you're not one of the 3 main tanks. The main tanks will be sharing aggro at the front of the boss. All the blue DPS can go ahead and have their stances off. 30 seconds coming up for in-game timers in 3, 2, 1, 30 seconds. I'm going to be getting ready to stack up tight behind the boss as we pull it. It'll be safer for you to be closer to the boss than further away. 10 seconds. LBs can go out at 5 for LB2s and 3 for LB1s. Here they come. Tanks can go ahead and get ready to pull. Stack up tight behind the boss. Even if you are ranged, it is safer to be closer than further away. First meteor raid wide, Adolf's Faint Reprisal dismantles on this cast. Okay, we're going to see our first set of introductory puddles. We're going to get away from these puddles, but not too far, as we're going to need to collapse back onto AV. Once they grow, they will be doubling in size. Collapse back onto AV now. Getting ready to sidestep a conal. There it is, sidestep the conal. Get behind the boss. Watching for our first half room split. Getting to the light side of the room when it appears. The light side of the room. Light side. Next up, we're going to see a tank buster happening at the front of the boss. So don't be near the front with the tanks. Okay, we're going to see double puddles coming up next. Getting away from dark puddles and close to light puddles. There's melee uptime right underneath the boss. Away from all the dark puddles, do not stand in either puddle. Safe to collapse back onto the boss. A little bit of uptime here before meteor raid wide. Adolf's Faint Reprisals dismantles on this cast. Next up, we'll be seeing Turbulent Ether. Once again, order of operations. We're going to be waiting for the conal to come out, so even if you get a tether, please wait to take it out. You can loosely spread to see if you have one, but don't take it out just yet. Wait for this conal, sidestep it. People with orbs, go ahead and take them out. Everybody else, if you don't, stand behind the boss again. I'm going to stay back here to get away from a tank buster. If you can't figure out where to go, take it out to the edge. 2 meteor raid wides in succession, incoming. Healers get ready. There's the first one. Second one incoming. If we push damage, we skip triple rune split. That might be a little close.
Nope.
Nope. We're gonna stand right underneath the boss. Do not follow main tanks. Stand right underneath the boss here. Watching which way we're gonna go. To the dark side first, dark side of the room. Dark side again. And then light side afterwards. Light side of the room. Stay here, stack up tight. Baiting a radial right underneath our feet. Get away from the radial, head out to the edges. Take the damage. Once you do, then we're going to collapse back in. Collapse back in, get ready to sidestep a conal. There it is. Kill the boss. There's a treasure coffer waiting for us here. Please be sure to grab it. Making good time to finish before maintenance. At the top of the stairs, there's going to be 2 owls that we're going to have tanks pull one at a time, as they have a very dangerous cast to the raid that will remove a beneficial buff from us if it goes off. So we're going to be watching that cast to stun it. So any tank can go ahead and stance on here just to pull these mobs. Okay, we're good. Maint is in an hour.
Farewell.
Okay, same thing for this bird. Alright. Gonna be waiting for cutscenes to go off. Everybody else, please avoid dropping down. We're gonna be waiting next to the button, but not stepping on it.
Meteor's always right and back, never to the left.
Alright, cutscene's finishing up. Everybody can go ahead and wait to receive maybe a shell refresh. We're going to go ahead and go over Ozma explanations. So I'm going to post an example of the Ozma waymarks. So these Ozma waymarks are going to help us with explanations. And the most important thing that you can see both in the screenshots here and on the platform and rings are going to be those blue circles, which are going to be used to be safe for black hole. Ozma will change in shapes to different shapes of all sorts, and when he transforms back into a sphere, that will be when black hole is being cast. When black hole is being cast, we need to make sure that every person is inside of one of those blue circles. And we also need to make sure that every blue circle is filled. If one of those circles is not filled, the entire raid will get sucked out and our run will be over. Additionally, if you personally are not inside one of those blue circles, then you will get sucked out and your run will be over when black hole is being cast. So the way that we're going to confirm that everybody makes it into a circle is we're going to have the melee and tanks heading to the circle that is on their platform, and the ranged and healers will be headed to the circle that is to the right of their platform. If this rule is followed every time, all the circles will get filled and black hole will resolve correctly every time. If you happen to get lost and you're not sure which circle you're supposed to go to, just make it to any circle. Just make it to the closest one, get inside it, and be safe from black hole rather than trying to make it to the correct one. Also, if you happen to get to your circle and you look to the left or right and you see one that's empty, try and run out there and be the hero. Try and fill the circle so the raid can continue, and you'll be the hero and save the run. So please be sure that we make sure that all circles are filled. The next 2 things are personal responsibility mechanics. They are meteors and acceleration bombs. meteors will happen multiple times during the fight. 2 people on every platform will get a big purple circle with a red arrow above their head, and it'll follow you when you move around. If you see that you have one of these meteors, please stop everything that you're doing and take it to the back right corner or to the right on the ring, which is conveniently marked with the 1-way mark or 2-way mark. That will be the furthest away from the platform, so please be sure that you take those out as soon as you see that you have one. You should assume that you have one until you know that you don't. So focus on taking those out over anything else. The last thing is acceleration bombs. Those will only happen when Ozma is a pyramid, which is a big triangle. When this happens, random people will receive a debuff that will appear near their no resurrection debuff that looks like this. It's been in other content. It has a timer on it. When it ticks down to 0, if you're doing anything like moving, casting, doing emotes, moving your camera, doing any sort of action, when it ticks down to 0, you will explode and deal 90% of your health and damage to you and everybody around you. So please be sure that if you see that you have one of these, put your weapon away, take your hands off the keyboard, stop doing action. People will say that you have to cancel your auto attack. That's the same thing as putting your weapon away. So if you hit your sheath key, which by default is Z, you might have changed it, but if you sheath your weapon, you'll stop auto attacking, take your hands off the keyboard, wait for that to go to 0, and you're good to go. Just respect it, do that early, don't try and greed DPS. It is honestly better if you see that you have it, just take your hands off the keyboard, put your weapon away, step away from the boss. You'll be safer than trying to greed a GCD and then have it snapshot you doing actions and have it explode. It'll be a lot worse. So please be sure to respect that. The last thing is you might have an unfortunate situation where you get both a meteor and an acceleration bomb. It's unlucky, it's unlikely, but it does happen. If this happens, please take your meteor out first, even if the Excel bomb is going to explode. You can get healed back up from the Excel bomb, but misplacing the meteor could be catastrophic to your platform. So please be sure to respect meteor over Excel bomb if you happen to get both. We're going to go ahead and send ready checks out to our party. We're not going to drop down yet. We're going to make sure that everybody's ready before we drop down. Main tanks should be back already. There's group 3. I have 6 ready. 3, 4, 6. Support 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just waiting for 5. One not ready and 5. Okay. What we'll do is we'll have just the main tanks get ready to drop down. Everybody else stay up here while we wait for those people to get ready. So main tanks go ahead and drop down. I'm going to be figuring out splits. Let's see. Just let me know in yell chat when they're ready, Pep. Okay. So it looks like normal group splits are fine for right now. Don't drop down just yet while we wait for all the groups to be ready. We're doing this so we avoid early pulls. Ned, you can head northwest if you want. So just so you're ready on your platform. Okay, there's 5. So we're going to have groups 1 and 2 headed to the northwest. 3 and 4 will be headed northeast. 5 and 6 will be headed to the south. As you drop down, please avoid cutting corners. The corners are very misleading and you might slip off. So please be sure to stay towards the center of the platforms as you walk around. Party leaders, please set up your waymarks. As you get to your platforms and settle in, your main tanks are standing on the buttons. Support can go south. So if you're already on south, you're good to go. So we're going to have a pull time of 65. on the Conquerors of Aldessian Arsenal timer.
Do not go near the
It's
edges.
a minute and 20 seconds, so people with focus and double edge can get ready. There's bravery being passed out by multiple people in the raid. Just a note for South, we have a healer main tank, so you may want to wait a couple seconds to let Incense do its job and gain them a little bit of enmity. So that's just a note for South. Everyone else is okay. Your tanks will handle it. If you're doing stuff like focus and double edge, then you can just wait like a couple seconds to let the enmity build up, and then you can go ahead. "25 seconds coming up. Oh, I wasn't building up my focus. Sad days. 10 seconds coming up. Tanks will be ready to provoke soon. LBs can go out if they're there. Tanks provoke. South, just wait a little bit. And you're probably good now. Melee will have some uptime here. Range can be positioned at the back of the platform. Melees can join the range at the back of the platform. Safe to return, do so as a group, taking shared auto attacks. In 2 more auto attacks, we're going to see a knockback emanating from the circle behind us. When we see this, we can use Arm's Length or Surecast or get knocked back towards Ozma. Do so now. Get knocked back towards Ozma. So they stacked up together for some more shared auto attacks. In 2 more auto attacks, we're getting ready for our first black hole. After the next auto attack, 1 more. Then range can be positioned. Range reposition for black hole. Melee get to your buttons. Everybody get to a button. Do not get sucked out. Main tanks are taking heavy auto attacks. Safe to return. We're going to start seeing Ozma Shade transformations, so we'll determine our movements. There's the Shade. You can look to the left and right to follow along. Getting off the platform first. Off the platform, main tanks are going to take an auto, so don't greet it. Safely return. Next time, we're going to see an Ozma transformation as well as a Shade, so there'll be 2 movements. Shades are up. Getting off the platform. Off the platform, when you see the laser beam go by, we're going to get close to Ozma. Get close to Ozma now. Stay stacked up on the left, away from your main tank. Don't leave the platform unless you know what you're doing. Take the stack away from your main tank. There's a holy knockback. Don't get knocked off. Stacked up on the left, away from your main tank who's taking cleaving autos. Waiting for an Ozma Shade transformation. There it is. Getting to the back of the platform. Take the stack at the back on the triangle in the back. Wait to get knocked back. Don't go back yet. Safe to return. Stacked up on the left, away from the cleaving autos. Range can get ready to pre-position. Melees to your buttons. Everybody to a black hole button. Don't get sucked out. Safe to return. Shades are up. Staying at the front. Stay at the front first. When we see this AoE go off, we're going to head to the back of the platform. Back of the platform now. This is just like the first phase. We're going to be taking shared auto attacks, moving up as a group. Meteors will come out shortly. If you have one of these, please take it to the back right or to the right on the ring. Once you drop the radio at your feet, head back to the front. Take the damage at the front with the group. When you take the damage, then get knocked back towards Ozma. Do so now. Get knocked back towards Ozma. Main tanks, please pick up the adds. Party, focus the damage on the adds. Boss is almost dead. If you happen to be down on the floor, don't return. Get knocked back to the back of the platform. To the back of the platform now. Nice. Good job, everybody.
Yay.
If you happen to sack at this point, you can go ahead and cheese Black Hole by jumping off. At 3 seconds left on your doom. There was a question. Main tank got a stack. So that's a... yeah, so it depends on what tank you are. If you have a pure invuln, you can just invuln the stack damage and take the orbs and you won't get the magic vuln. The problem is the magic vuln. If you take the stack and you're a warrior or a dark knight and you get the magic vuln, the orb will do so much damage to you that you can't do much about it. Dark Knight specifically can use Dark Mind, the magic vulnerability mitigation. The stack went off after orb. Okay, yeah, so as warrior, you're kind of screwed because you're going to get that magic vuln.
If you have Shake It Off and Indom, you can actually eat the stack yourself and won't get a debuff.
Okay, so it's a
And
very
PBN does
specific.
the same thing. Yeah, you got to have
Yeah.
both though.
Yeah. So the other thing that Kimiko's been trying to push to do is when you get the stack, pretty much as soon as you see that you have it, you run off the platform and go run into them to proc them exploding. Because if you run into the orb, as it's spawning, it'll proc it to explode even if you're not there. So you have the stack on you, you run out there to your side with your orbs, go make them pop, run back onto the platform, take the stack, those orbs will pop out there by themselves. You just need to provoke as soon as you make it back to the platform. That's probably your best case scenario. It's just a lot of APM to do that all at once. But yes, unfortunately, when that happens, it's kind of a really bad situation for a tank that is not a pure invuln tank to deal with. You have to kind of scramble to overshield and mitigate yourself to try and live the stack and the magic vuln that comes after.
I wonder if we should start having vets try to cheese both sides.
Maybe that could be.
I mean, because what I've been doing instead of running on and then back, because that seems to bait a lot of people who don't know what's going on. If you just keep going, most people just ignore you.
Yes.
So we could
Yeah.
do that on both ways and just stop in the middle. It would probably be okay, but if you don't do both, it kind of goes poorly.
Yes. So, yeah, that's something that even like people who've been main tanking multiple times will have happen to them, and it sucks.
Yeah.
It's not like your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. It's just unfortunate that it randomly decided to pick you for the stack. But yeah, that's how you deal with it. But hope everybody had fun. Congrats on the first clears. Hope you finished your quest line, and there's more runs happening during the week. So keep an eye out. Maybe you'll get to join some more BA.
Yay.